Something that I wanted to talk to you about today is the reason why I became religious. I've already talked a little bit. We've already talked a little through about my friend's journey through his religious journey, sorry. So now I want to talk a little bit about me. So before I was religious, I'd probably say I was a hardcore conservative, uh, and more than anything, I was probably like more conservative than conservatives because I was like uh, 1700s conservative when I'm talking about the government needs to go because the reason of the Second Amendment is to destroy any tyrannical government. And right now in the U.S., we have a tyrannical government. You cannot trust any politician. No politician is worth trusting. Like, I don't even like Donald Trump. But my friend Aquilonor, he's kind of still in the Matrix. Well, we're gonna get there. Was still in the Matrix until recently. The reason I say this is because he was still a Trump supporter, and I'm like, dude, all the governments are corrupt. You know, screw them. Anyways, he was still a Trump supporter up until recently. He found out that Trump was supporting Israel, and my friend doesn't like the Jews because of their hypocrisy and of other atrocities they've committed, as well as the war in Gaza right now. Uh, Whereas I already knew that because I remember watching Trump go to Israel about 6 years ago to do some worship on a wall or something. I remember watching that vividly. I sent that video to my friend. Anyways, I think that was the turning point, which is kind of interesting because it just happened where he found out about Trump being a Israel supporter. So now he doesn't like Trump, which is very interesting to me because I told him like, dude, all the governments are corrupt. All the governments. I'm not saying like I don't support one. They're all corrupt. They all do bad things. Um, so yeah, that's why um, I don't like governments because I you cannot trust them. I long time ago I started learning about psychology, and I learned that it seems that more so than anything, a lot of people in power are actually a bunch of psychopaths, and it makes sense because, well, not psychopaths, but more so sociopaths. Because the difference is that sociopaths uh, don't kill, and psychopaths do, and very similar. And psychopaths, they can either be smart or stupid. Sociopaths, for the most part, are intelligent, and they are a lot of people in power, and they will screw us over just like they did in 2008. Wall Street, the bankers, they bailed themselves out with U.S. tax dollars and screwed everyone over and just destroyed our livelihood. Like, there is, like, for me, I have no hope for the future. Like, I mean, like, I was always a pessimistic person growing up, so this really doesn't affect me as much as it will affect a lot of people who have hope for the future. And that's probably why there's a lot of people gaming nowadays. A lot of kids gaming is because they realize that there is no hope. They cannot get jobs. So a lot of them retreat into gaming and just do a side hustle here and there or something to keep them going. And they've lost the incentive to live. And I completely understand that. Um, there is no hope uh, for this humanity here on Earth right now. Like, buying a house is stupid when inflation is through the roof. The bankers. Speaking about inflation, I just trailed off there for a second. They caused inflation. They ruined our economy. They basically just destroyed our future. So these bankers, these secret societies, they are controlling the government, and a lot of people don't really they don't know that. And that's something I learned a long time ago, and that's why I became I was a Christian. Sorry, I was a hardcore conservative, like I said, and then I trusted no one. Like, you got to remember who was conservative back in the day when I was learning about this. It was what was his name? I think Obama was already in the White House, but before that it was George Bush, if I remember correctly. So George Bush was the a-hole who got us into the Middle East, and we were supposed to trust him. Oh yeah, there's WMDs. The enemy has WMDs. We never found any WMDs. That was a lie. They caused the Twin Tower collapse. That was a lie. It was an inside job. There was also, me and my friend Aquilona have talked about that in the past, where we mentioned that, and we just go back. I'll link that video as well. Anyways, I didn't want to talk about that right now. So I became very angry towards the government. I wanted to do something radical at that time, and I didn't know what to do. All I knew is I had the Second Amendment to back me up, and their founding fathers, that's the reason they created it, to destroy tyrannical governments. I have the Second Amendment. We have a tyrannical government. Make two and two to fit together. Anyways, luckily at the time I was freaking out, and that's when I was introduced to Christianity. Like, growing up, I was a Christian, meaning I knew a little bit. Like, I knew some Bible stories here and there. I knew about God. I knew some stuff, but I didn't really pursue religion because I didn't. It seemed irrelevant. Like, I don't know how to say it. It's not that I didn't believe it, because a part of me knew I believed in God, but more so, I was a kid growing up. Like, I just wanted to play, have fun, whatever. I wasn't really focused on it, so it wasn't really relevant to me at the time. But then I realized these sociopaths are in charge, destroying our economy, ruining our future, and these sociopaths are everywhere. So yeah, that's why when I refound religion, I was introduced into Christianity, a form of Christianity, which I don't want to talk about just yet. If you know about it, you know about it. And that was the solution right there. God is gonna destroy all the what's it called? Sorry. God is gonna destroy all the governments in the world. So there's really nothing for me to do other than to survive. There's nothing for us to do other than to survive a little bit longer until that happens, because, like I said, there is no hope for this future. There is no hope for our lives here. And I'm not just being pessimistic, I'm being realistic. Like, at this point in time, I'm not a pessimist anymore. I'm a realist. I say it how it is, I see it how it is, and I call it what it is. For some people call me a pessimistic. I'm like, I'm not a pessimist.
here are the facts. Here's what's going on. So